Good morning, YouTube. I know it's been a long time since I've actually made a video, posted a few shorts here and there along the way, but I recently had some foot surgery, so I'm kind of confined to the house. And I've been tying up a bunch of jigs, and I just kind of got to thinking about my journey as a jig fisherman and also as a jig maker, and wanted to kind of share some insights and a couple of recipes with you guys that I hope will help you all out. So back to when I first started fishing a jig, I didn't have a lot of confidence in the technique, but I kind of committed myself to learning it. I knew that it caught big fish. It still does catch big fish. Um, but I really just kind of started out with the real basic green pumpkin jig. As I got a little more confidence going, a little better at the technique, I started adding a few colors, black and blue, maybe some peanut butter and jelly. But I really kind of stuck to those three fundamental jig colors: peanut butter jelly, green pumpkin, black and blue. Then, as I became a jig maker, things started to go a little bit sideways for me. Um, I was always wanting to push the envelope, see what I could do in terms of making cool looking jigs. So I started buying all these different tabs, all these different color paints, painting up these beautiful heads, trying to make um, all these different jigs, whether it be bluegill, perch, shad patterns, this kind of craw, that kind of craw. And eventually what kind of happened, I think, is my jig fishing started to suffer because I would, I'd be playing with these other colors. I wasn't real sure of them. And then eventually I'd open up my jig box and paralysis through analysis would start to kick in, right? And then I would just go to my old standby and I'd start catching them again, which was this guy right here, green pumpkin orange. And then, of course, black and blue, if the water's really dirty. Also, you guys do not sleep on black and blue jigs in gin clear water. It can be tremendously effective in super clear water. I think it gets overlooked a lot for that. But I started kind of just getting back to basics. I've stopped really making all those other pretty looking jigs because they're just taking up space in my box and never seeing any use. So I've given a lot of them away. And I've just kind of put a bunch of them in a box and they sit down in the basement and don't ever see the light of day. My fishing has gotten significantly better since I've gone back to the basics on my color selection. I went through a period there where I was just trying everything and not getting a lot of bites. And then last summer, I kind of just went back to my old standbys and started getting more bites, started feeling better about what I was doing. I think confidence really helps in catching fish too. But at any rate, these are the two jigs. I do keep some PB&J handy too as well, but these are the two main jigs. I bet you I throw these two colors 95% of the time. These happen to be Arkie jigs. These are 3/8 ounce Do It Molds Arkies. I pour these myself, tie them myself. But I'll kind of give you the recipe for these two jigs here if you guys are interested in tying them up. Sorry, let me get my fat hand out of there. But this one here, it's just a green pumpkin ProTech powder paint. This one's going to look a little bit different to you guys maybe simply because I had a canister of matte green pumpkin and a canister of regular green pumpkin, both of which were getting low. And I was getting kind of tired of them. It was getting tougher and tougher to dip as the powder ran lower. So I just kind of combined them, shook it all up, and this is the end result. But ultimately, you guys, just get yourself a green pumpkin paint. Don't get too worked up about it. If you want the shine, go with regular. If you want the matte, go with the matte. But nonetheless, green pumpkin head, and then I'll give you the skirt recipe for this as well. Here, let me see. Got a bunch of stuff sitting out here in front of me. The orange, you guys, is Orange Crush. I get that from Fishing Skirts. If we get a good look at this, you can see that it's just basically a fairly bright orange with some orange flake and some black flake. I'm going to say my average jig gets, maybe a third of a tab. And then for the green pumpkin, I use 2 tabs. This is from Lure Parts Online. It's Zoom Green Pumpkin Gold, and it's 2 tabs of that. You can use the bands. I like to tie. Whatever works for you. You can wire tie them if you like. I mean, that's strictly up to you. I'm not going to tell you how to tie your jigs. I like them tied. I don't like when the skirt falls down when I make a good skip. So either hand tied or wire tied for me. But if the rubber bands are easier for you, by all means, go that direction. And then the black and blue, you guys, again, 3/8 Arkie. This is ProTech powder paint, black with blue flake, and a weed guard. For the blue, we're using standard silicone material, also from Lure Parts Online. And it is blue with blue flake, and if we look close at that, you can see it's blue silicone. It's got that sapphire blue flake and a little bit of black flake in it as well. Half a tab of that for the jig. And then for the black, it's just a really basic, I don't know if this is Lure Parts Online. It doesn't really matter where you get it from at the end of the day. This is just jet black silicone material, 2 tabs of that. And then for my weed guards, I get those from fishingskirts.com. I use the Boss. You can get these from Do It Molds. You can get them from Barlow's Tackle. You can get them basically anywhere. For my green pumpkins, I use a medium green pumpkin weed guard. And my black and blues, I use a black medium weed guard. Now, at the end of the day, you could probably just go out, buy a whole bunch of black weed guards and call it a day. I don't think the color of the weed guard particularly matters. I just like when it matches. Something weird in my brain like that. But again, you guys, it really comes down to confidence, I think, when you're fishing. Keep it simple. Make a presentation that you're confident in, and I guarantee you're going to catch more fish. I hope these tips help you. I hope you guys catch a bunch of fish this year. Tie up some jigs. Let me know how they work. Thanks for watching, you guys.